What's up, everyone? We're back with episode 4
Yes, sir.
of DBT Podcast. I'm here with my co-host Roshan as well.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back on episode 4 on DBT. As you can see, today we both are chilling. No guest.
No guest. Yeah, our first of our solo episode.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it's good that way.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps us to have, like when you have a guest, you usually are talking about their expertise. You are doing that. And it's kind of like a venting session when we do both of us. Like we're just talking about anything that we want to talk and what's going on, what's the current things going on. You know, I think it keeps that, I would say, the energy between us as well, doing it together, just between you and me as well.
You hear? Have you ever heard of people? Where they say, like you have to be comfortable with yourself. So like they will go out to restaurants, eat by themselves.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I have done it. So I'm a big foodie, as you all know, right? So if there is something that sometimes, like Sabina and me, when we go out, there are some restaurants she really don't like, and I try to take my brother, my parents, and they're still like, I don't know why you like these food, and I'm like, okay, and that's my me time. Like I usually go to the restaurants. If the food is good, I'm okay, comfortable going and eating by myself.
Yeah. Do you have like a place to go here in Dallas? For those that don't know, we're recording in Dallas today.
Yep.
So we kind of switch back and forth between Dallas and Austin. So any recommendations for people in Dallas? I mean, and also for those of you that don't know, so Roshan and I are both from Nepal, not India, Nepal. I mean, for a lot of people, it might be the same thing actually, but I'll just specify.
Yep.
But I get a lot of questions about like good Nepali restaurants in Dallas. Do you have any recommendation?
I think I've always been a big fan of Bajeko Sikwa. That's one of the go-to where I like to go. And there are like more, Dallas has such a big competition in Nepali restaurants. There are multiple that I go to. There are some places like they are inside the gas station as well, where they have like specialty food. And there are few restaurants that have come in as a speakeasy Nepali restaurants, Nepali bars as well that have come in. Bara and Ayla, there are new that have come in. I haven't tried both of them there yet, but with the way that they have set up the whole thing, it's really nice. I would definitely want to go try it. Yeah, same. It's Instagram and TikTok both.
Yeah. I've seen some of them there, and for me, and those restaurants I think are so far away, man. Like it's always like what would that be? That would be west, right? West of Dallas, so northwest of Dallas. I think going there is like a whole day's journey. But if you're looking for Nepali food, to try Nepali food in Dallas, I think Bajeko Sikwa is probably one of the go-to places. It's accessible too. That's what I like.
Yeah, it's very accessible. Foods are really tasty as well. I love it. There are times that me and Sabina, we just have drove to come eat Nepali food here in Dallas. We'll just drive 3 hours from Austin, and I think we were also talking about it yesterday. Like those are the time that we have such a great conversation during the trip, that 3 hour, like sometimes Sabina is off and like, man, I want to go eat Nepali food. I'm like, okay, let's go. Yeah. And
so you'll drive just for the food?
Just for the food. And that's how you can tell I'm a foodie. We both are.
The reason I asked about this is, just in case we have anybody watching who's planning on traveling to Dallas for the World Cup, right? Because we're getting that. And we're one of the host cities.
Yes, sir.
This year. So, if they want to try some good Nepali food, they get some recommendations. But 1 second. We just had one of our guests. He's one of my coworkers.
Yeah.
So going back, I think that's one of the reasons I mentioned it. But do you know much about the World Cup? Kind of what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, I watch it, the World Cup. Like I've always been a guy, like if there is a big group of people that are, they're like, I just don't watch sports just by myself. There are friends of mine who are like really hyped about this and all that stuff. I will watch the World Cup for sure. And again, in this year, it's all about North America, right? There are games happening in Mexico, United States, and Canada, and definitely Dallas being a host city and me being in real estate, there have always been a talk like for last couple of months, like, oh, Dallas is going to have a boom market in real estate. There's going to be a World Cup people coming in. We need to buy a property. There's going to be a lot of short-term rentals that are going to go crazy. But I think it's not happening that way.
No. It's, I mean, at least we don't feel the hype the same way here in Dallas. I mean, like whenever they do a World Cup, a lot of people like plan their travel. It's almost like not just like a sporting event. It becomes like I don't know how to put it. It's like it's like something special that people travel and explore that place for, right?
Yes,
so when it happened in, what were the last few places? So it happened in Qatar was the last one and I think, and then before that there was one that happened in
Brazil.
Did Brazil do one?
I think I'm just because I remember that.
Just because they're good at they're good at soccer.
No. I remember that song.
South Africa.
Okay, South Africa.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that was South Africa, I think. So South Africa did one, and then of course Qatar did one. And before South Africa, also there was one. Might have been somewhere in Europe, maybe that I'm thinking of. But anyway, it's like an event that people travel a lot for. And I think for some reason this year we're not seeing that type of influx. I mean, I've spoken to people that have like Airbnb properties here locally, and they're all expecting to be booked and to see those influx of bookings come in. But for whatever reason, I think FIFA has kind of botched the World Cup. I don't know if you know about kind of how they plan on handling the ticketing prices. And, I mean, it's super expensive. First of all, they waited till like last second to sell tickets, and now what they're doing, which I think is like double dipping in sorts, is typically what used to happen is you buy those tickets from FIFA. And then there are like third-party apps like SeatGeek and all these other platforms that you can go and resell your tickets, right? Now FIFA is restricting that, and they themselves are allowing those resell too. So they're allowing people to buy tickets, and then themselves are allowing essentially people to like jack up the price and resell it. So I think a lot of, I don't know if it's like, I'm not one to say like how FIFA should work like ethically or things like that, but it's becoming more blatantly, I think, a money grab rather than, it used to be kind of like this once in 4-year event that everybody looked forward to. Like you said, everybody came together. We used to have watch parties for almost like every game.
Whole streets are closed in Nepal. Like they put the big screens.
I mean, whenever like somebody scored a goal, you could hear like the entire street celebrate. I mean, even when we were in New York, like when I was in New York, people, if the games were on Saturday or something like that, people would, pretty much every place that was doing a watch party would be booked completely. And people would, it was like a social, like it was just an excuse for people to get together. So like soccer was one idea.
And it's kind of like to the people who are following soccer, it's a religion to them, right? They're diehard fans of it that I've seen. And like, World Cup is kind of like that. Every 4 years it comes. And for people to attend a World Cup, it's same thing like attending a pilgrimage or something like that.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. Like they wait till that comes through. They save their money, they get their families together, and they'll travel, and they get to. And I think like when you travel to a place for a World Cup, it's a completely different experience, man. Like, the entire place is buzzing, and it's such a good.
The whole energy is just crazy.
It's such a great vibe that people get to travel for. But I mean, I look forward to seeing that in Dallas. I mean, we talked about going to some games, but with these prices, man, I think it's like nowadays when you go to a sporting event, you'll end up paying for the tickets. And then you're paying, like if you get a drink, you're paying like $15, $20
for a beer.
For a beer that probably costs you like $1,
$1.50.
Like, and I talk to my friends and we always say like, hey man, do we want to go and attend? And they're like, no, I've got a movie room in the house, so we'll just get together and for a fraction of the price.
That's more fun too. Like you can watch a replay. I mean, it might be definitely like to the people. I'm not trying to say it's fun. There are some people who are like, being there is just different, they're very passionate about it. And once in a lifetime opportunity, like you said, right? They're investing all this money, saving this money, and with definitely with the prices now, right? And for the events to be happening here in the United States, like just think about people from Asia trying to travel, the airfare and all that stuff. That is just, they're investing so much to be here and attend that event. So they definitely have to have fun time. But I'm a person like, I would like to chill. You know, I don't want to be in uncomfortable seats, like, you know.
No, I don't think it's so. That's what I'm saying. I don't think like the World Cup is only about the games, right? The World Cup is more than the game. I think it's the host city always does a fantastic job of setting up the entire, you know, kind of attractions and everything. So people are not just like, it's not just you go to a game and then you go home and sit, right? You have multiple other things to do. I mean, if you look at Qatar, when they did the World Cup there, you know, a lot of people were expecting Qatar not to do so well, you know, in terms of being a host. But I mean, they had a ton of visitors. Not only that, I mean, I think they spent $4 billion building the stadiums you know, for the World Cup. And not only that, but they also, because of the demand of people and the lack of, I guess, housing there, they even had free shuttles.
Yes.
So Qatar Airways was providing plane shuttles to, from neighboring cities to Doha. So you could go and watch the World Cup. I mean, that's how massive of an event it is. You know?
And the marketing that they did was amazing, right? I mean, how have you seen in terms of marketing United States?
I haven't seen anything.
Yes, exactly.
And I will also say, I don't know if that's because I'm not in like the soccer algorithm, you know, because I don't think like I have that algorithm, but even my friends, like I have a lot of friends that'll wake up at, you know, 7 a.m., 6 a.m. on Saturday to watch like a Premier League game, you know, just to follow their favorite team, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, whatever their team is, they'll follow that. So you're right. Soccer fans are very religious, right, about their teams. And they're very passionate about their teams. But I haven't heard them talk about the World Cup in a sense that, hey man, like it's happening here in New York. It's you know, it's happening at MetLife. It's happening, you know, at AT&T Stadium here in Dallas. We gotta attend. I haven't heard them like talking about it.
And that too, right? Like you say about the algorithm, it's not only just about that. Like with Qatar, even though you are not a soccer fan, you have seen their ad, right? In flights, in
the music
TV.
That they came up with also, right? That's
so
another piece of
I think, and the artists that they bring for the openings and all that stuff. So even though like it was a global thing, right? And right now, like I think Gianni, the FIFA president, he also talked, like I think he made some sort of comment about if you can't pay that much, then probably World Cup is not for you to watch kind of thing as well. And that's really, I don't like that, you know, for people like you said, who are love for that game is just crazy, right? Waking up at 6 or staying late night until 2-3 a.m. to watch the game, and making such sort of comments is not helping. And again, like it's just been more about like them talking about, hey, ticket prices are high. I also saw news about in New York, like where the MTA, the train will be like into $800 the cost. So from New Jersey to the stadium, it used to cost $850, something like that. Now they are looking into getting up to $150 and $300. And if you want to,
because of how many times they have to run it.
Yes, and also at the same time, like parking cost is going to be about $700 to $800 if you want to be close to the stadium, right? And if you like one thing added to another, ticket prices is there, but just to be there, the commute time, the Ubers, right? Just because, I mean, I have seen it in Austin, like last week I was there in one of the comedy show for Jakir Khan. He's a stand-up comedian, and we were there, and like the Uber prices went crazy. Like as soon as show ended, we went, like it's in down Austin. It was in UT Austin. So we came in. I think we paid about $22 to came in. When we were trying to get in an Uber, it was $68.
Wow.
Right, and everybody is trying to do it. And now that was I would say it's a small event compared to a football game, right? Soccer game, right? So I would think like all that cost coming towards it. I think FIFA hasn't done, like you said, I'm not the one to say it's good or not, but I think like they haven't think of the essence of the football comes in all sorts of people, not just the people who have more money, you know?
I mean, I always thought like football was never seen, or soccer was never seen as like a rich man's sport, right? When you look at kind of a lot of the soccer players that grew up, you know, they talk about how, I mean, I don't know about you, but like when we were growing up, like we would make a ball with socks.
Yeah.
And we would be kicking that around and playing soccer that way, right? But nowadays, if the theme is like, hey man, you got to pay to watch this once in a 4-year sporting event.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford it, then you don't watch it. I think it kind of takes away from the essence of the sport, right? Which was always for, hey, anyone can play it.
The whole spirit of the sports,
like anyone can play soccer, and you can play soccer with a ball made of socks, or you have like a professional gear, whatever it is that you wanted, you could kick anything around and you could have fun with it.
What you just said is like, I just thinking about it, like the sock thing. If you look at it, any a soccer ad, right?
Yeah.
If you look at it, you will see that aspect of it where they are not playing a real football, right? There might be a transition.
Or they show like a kid growing up.
Exactly. In the street, they're playing it. They're passing the soccer ball to each other, and it might not always be a soccer ball, right? And it can go like, hey, you were playing in street, and now they're going back to the stadium, where that transition always happens, where in any situation that you are in to where you are, like it changes, but at the same time, like you said, soccer was for everybody, and it's all around the world, not just here or there. In Nepal too, like you said, we played that. We made socks ball, like gathered the socks and we played the balls with that. So I think the essence and the spirit of the soccer is very different, and I think it's worldwide. Here, like we are struggling with saying football and soccer just because the thing here we call American NFL football here. I mean, from where we are, from Nepal, we talk soccer as football. So there's a confusion that I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
we're talking about the same thing, but I mean, I wonder how much of this is also the result of kind of the economic times. Also, Roshan. We have a lot of. A lot of uncertainty in the market, right? I mean, obviously, you're in real estate. You see this firsthand in your job. I'm in healthcare, so I see this, firsthand in my line of work also. But I wonder how much of this is also kind of, motivated by just the rising cost of doing everything. I mean, fuel costs are very high right now,
it's
right?
Going crazy.
So traveling is very expensive.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Spirit Airlines went bankrupt. And they're citing that rising fuel prices was kind of the nail in the coffin. I mean, they were never like a profitable business anyway. They went through a few failed mergers. They were kind of expected to merge with United, and the government kind of struck it down, and they were expecting some type of a bailout, which I believe there was a deal on the table where they were expecting. They had an offer for the government to buy out 80% of their company share, essentially for, I think it was 250 million or something like that. I think was the number. And the government countered at 90, and then, it just didn't
the difference is too big.
Yeah, and they're like 90 we can't do, and then that just kind of caused the company to go under, right? But I mean, we're seeing a lot more of this. I mean, I wonder how much of this is also, led by that. But I think, like, in my true opinion, I think most people, I think Canada and Mexico are going to see a lot more influx of those travelers than U.S.
Yeah, and at the same time, like with President Trump trying to, tighten the immigration aspect of it as well.
Biggest,
as well, right? Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you have seen it or not. Like, CBP officers, they have put in an ads where like, hey, we'll be in stadiums and all that stuff, right? And it might act as a deterrence as well with everything going on with the war and all that stuff, So they have put in that, and President Trump has been very. Hey, we need to control the immigration flow of it, and that has been his whole agenda of it. So I think that's why he's running that part as well, and I think that might be one of the reasons that we are not seeing a lot of Airbnbs not being filled and all that stuff. At the same time, the fuel cost is just killing it right now. Even in Texas, it's closer to $4.19.
Yeah.
Right. So
I don't know. I drive an electric.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we both drive electric, but I think that cost also is added on that, just because you'll have to think about FIFA handling logistics as well, right? So that might come into play. I mean, we can look at it in both ways in that stuff, but at the same time, for one thing that I'm not fan of is like Gianni going in and telling like it's not for everybody is not something that I was expecting. Being a FIFA president, he should have that.
I thought to myself, like, hey man, this is like a good. I mean, I've never been to a FIFA game, of course, right? And this is like
in the doorstep.
A lot of people, like would probably look at this as like a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Where you get to go watch, the best people in the world play. You got the best footballers in the whole world coming in and playing. This might be Ronaldo's last World Cup, right?
Messi's last World Cup.
Messi too, and then you got Mbappe playing. You got Neymar. Like you got these big Mo Salah, right? You got these big footballers that are playing. And you never know, right? This might be their last World Cup, and everybody talks about, like, my elder family members. They always talk about being able to see like Beckham play at his prime and how amazing he was, and the goals that they scored, right? I feel like these are very cool stories.
And that energy is just amazing, like with the sound that they make, right? In the stadium,
when, like,
and all
everybody
that
goes
stuff.
crazy when they score a goal. I mean, I thought like that's something that I would definitely want to be part of once in my life. And
that experience.
I looked into being able to attend those.
Why not? Let's do it in Mexico then.
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of people are considering. But the problem is FIFA is controlling those tickets, so they know a lot of people
are looking at both end of it.
Yeah, they're not looking and saying, "Hey, Mexican pesos are cheaper, so we're going to lower it." I mean, they're trying to maximize the money they make out of it, and of course, they're a business. At the end of the day, they get to price it how they want. But I think, I'm really curious to see how this one will go in particular.
Yep.
Just in the way that they've handled it.
Also, like, what are you thinking in terms of infrastructure wise? And are you guys ready in Dallas in terms of traffic and all that stuff? Just because
I think so. I think Dallas, like where they're holding it, Dallas actually is, I think, a much compared to maybe other Texas cities. I think Dallas is pretty well designed. We've got multiple highways. I mean, we've got a lot of highways actually. We've got multiple toll roads too. So I don't see kind of infrastructure being an issue. We have a ton of housing options too. It's a big city. Dallas is a big city. We've got great stadiums too. I mean, the AT&T Stadium is one of the best in the country, right? I mean, it's one of the newer ones too. So I think from an experience perspective, Dallas is more than ready.
Okay.
But I just don't know how many people will come to Dallas. That's the debate, right? And there are a lot of people that try to capitalize on the World Cup and got into real estate and got a lot of housing.
Yeah.
Just with the thought of short-term rentals and being able to Airbnb it, and I think I don't think they're very happy with the way things are going yet. But I also don't know how many people plan like months and months in advance versus like a few weeks.
I know. I think like you mentioned, like how Qatar has did the transit system and all that stuff. I mean, definitely they are like oil money and all that stuff.
I mean,
We talked about.
They're not worried about money.
Yeah. I mean, they gift President Trump the whole airplane on his visit, right? Yeah. So 747, and I think has it already come to the United States? I don't know.
I think it's aren't they like he said he's going to put it in a museum or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
so they're not flying in.
No, I don't think so. I think I think Trump said his plan is to put it. He's going to open up like a Trump museum, and that's where the plane's going to go.
Awesome.
So I mean, I don't think they plan on using that as Air Force One.
Oh no,
because there's already
that would be a security concerns and all that stuff as well.
But they already have a 747. Yeah. It's the same exact plane that they already have. Yeah. That I think recently we spent a lot of money renovating the Air Force One. So I don't see them using that like as a government, asset, but like if he's going to use it as a personal, I mean, that's his choice. Right? It's a personal gift.
But it was given to a government. I don't think he can use it.
It was given to him personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a personal gift. From, from the.
He was, I think, in his recent trip to China as well. He's in China. I think he's coming back right now. Yeah. I was seeing that he was asking President Xi Jinping the roses. I've never seen these big. He was hosted in one of the garden of the President Xi Jinping in China, and he's like, "Man, I can get used to it. It's circulating more, and like this is really good." And he has any other president or prime minister of any other countries have been there? And President Xi Jinping said, "Nope." and in that conversation, he said, even Putin hasn't come here, and Trump is like happy about it. Yeah. President Trump says also, I haven't seen these big roses. He's gonna help me out get these roses. I want to put it in the rose garden in White House. So his trip has also gained a big
I mean, he traveled with a pretty heavy-hitting crowd.
Yes.
I mean,
all tech billionaires mostly.
Yeah. I mean, not just tech billionaires, but these are, the largest tech companies in the whole world, right? They control
the trillion-dollar companies. They're managing everything and all that.
I mean, that's pretty badass, man, to be able to travel with.
And they were not allowed to carry their own phone. Do you know that? They were given the phone just because of the security measures and all that stuff.
There's the whole video of Elon Musk
like just like
like a little kid. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, to be honest, I would probably do the same.
Yeah.
If I'm ever in that type of an environment. But God, man, that's being able to travel with like the CEO of Apple, Nvidia, Tesla. Like I think Oracle, right? There was what's his name? Larry Olson. Was he there also?
I don't know.
But I know like. Whoever he traveled with, they're like the big dogs,
big
right?
dogs. Yep.
So I mean, that's pretty cool. But he goes to China. They have a decent trip.
Yep.
And he just came back and he said, Taiwan better not try to claim independence. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
When he came
I think another thing that was very interesting that I saw was like the Xiaomi CEO and how they did the sitting with BYD and Tesla next to each other. Elon's son got a little bit of, he took his son in the trip as well. Yeah. Right. So I think that cross culture in terms of, there's always been a talk of like, hey, China is just copying us and all that stuff. I hope they get to spend some time. I see the Nvidia CEO, he was going out after the trip, eating noodles and having conversation with the locals. I think he's been in a lot of trouble whether he can sell it to China or not in terms of chip. I hope a few good things are coming in. I know they were trying to find a resolution for Iran's passes and all that stuff as well. So
and I'm sure they talked about the tariffs and all of that too.
Yep.
But hey, man, talking about tariffs, it just kind of came to my head. So what was it, like a year ago, sometime year and a half ago, right? We enacted this tariffs on all of these foreign imports. Depending on different countries, we had different tariff rate, and then all of the companies, they raised their prices to cover for the tariffs because essentially they were like, hey, this is eating into our profit margin. And now President Trump has announced that, hey, all of these companies are going to get the tariff refund back.
Yes.
Do you think we're going to get any of that back?
No. Not about the refund, man. Like it's more about like, will they come down on prices?
Yeah, that too.
I don't think they will.
No, man, of course not. Now this is like double profit for them, right? In fact, there were like few companies I shopped with that gave the tariffs as a line item. Wow. They had a separate line item that's a tariff. Yeah. And essentially I paid for it, right? Like in my totals, like let's say it's $100, and if it was a 15% tariff, they would say $15 is tariffs. Then they will tax me on that, right? So I paid, let's say $125. You think I'm going to get that $15 back?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think, where that $15 is going to be used? To use that lawyers to get this decision back from the Supreme Court. That $15 went there. Yeah. So you're not getting back. Yeah, I wish they could just come down on prices now.
I don't think they'll adjust on the prices either. And I think this like leads us to the topic we're talking about, where like everything's so expensive. Inflation is crazy. Gas prices are insane. And I think we're definitely in a fortunate place to not have seen, especially on the gas price piece, not have seen that impact. But I think we're seeing that everywhere. Everybody's seeing that.
I was reading a news there as well. Like the impact of Strait of Hormuz being closed for such extended period hasn't even started. Just because all the countries, they have their reserves and all that stuff, right? So within
we have Venezuela.
Yeah, no, for us, we're good. Like you said, we're in a good place that we don't, I think our very small percentage of our oil come from that place, right? Mm-hmm. But for Southeast Asia, country like India, Nepal, where even in Australia, I think they were trying to cut flights, like they're doing giving tax credits for the gas prices and all that stuff. I think the talk is here also in United States. Trump is trying to, there is a gasoline tax, that federal tax that they pay. They're trying to get that down. I think it's about 13 or 18 cents that per gallon that they do. So they're trying to reduce that as well in terms of that. But at the same time, with the fuel cost and everything that's going on, they have also worked into the that fuel cost is also adding up prices now. Now we talked about tariffs, it increased, and now we're saying like, hey, now fuel cost is high. Now logistic is definitely going to be high. So that product from the company warehouse to our whole house going to be expensive, right? I think that another level of that is again coming in, and the real impact of Strait of Hormuz being closed will be seen in upcoming days. I don't think we have seen the real impact on that as well. Inflation as well. I think in terms of inflation, we can also Kevin Warsh, he's now a newly appointed Fed chair. I know they control and they are the big part of controlling the inflation and all that stuff. I know Fed chair John Paul just left. His tenureship is done. I think he will still be in the Fed chair as a governor or something like that for the time being. I think that's for the transition and all that stuff. But new Fed chair coming in. I mean, let's see what he has.
Well, wasn't the expectation that when the new Fed chair comes in, they would lower the interest rates and that would put more cash into supply? But
that might be one of the things that it got him in that place, I would say. Yeah. But I don't think that's going to be a big impact. I mean, just in terms of, we see it in a real estate perspective as well. Like we see it like what the Fed chair is going to talk. Whenever the Fed chair is out there talking, the whole real estate market is like, what is he going to say? Yeah. Right. And I think the stock market reacts the same way as well.
Was like there was a popular thread on Reddit, and it was like, if the first words out of a Fed chair's mouth is good morning or good after good or something like that, then we're looking for something. But if they're like, hello everyone, and then it's like, oh man, it's a very poor a CPI report, right?
Yeah. So, and I think the new Fed chair, I think there are going to be some changes. Definitely, whatever John Paul was doing, I think as a newcomer, you'd definitely want to send that message out, right? And he just got confirmation from Congress. I think not today, the day before yesterday, I would say. So I think I'm excited about what he has in his plans. I know a lot of Congress grilled him on like, hey, you're going to do what Trump say, right? Just because Fed, the whole thing about that is being independent and making that decision. Right. So he was grilled in Congress hearing really bad. I was looking at a couple of them, and TikTok always shares like, if you look at one and they will like what the senator or what the House of Representative did and all that stuff. So I think he definitely have some kind of plans, I would say. And President Trump has been trying to get John Powell out. Like he tried, but at the end he waited. I think he even tried to get him on a criminal charges as well for building something there. So I mean, it's a very interesting time overall, right? With the United States going in war, World Cup happening, the trip of President Trump, and the gas prices just going up. Yeah. And it's a talk of the whole United States right now. Right. Gas prices. You see any Democratic politician
that was probably one of the biggest talking points for Trump, right? For his presidency also, is he specifically talked about being able to lower gas prices and how gas prices was very high, and obviously it has only continued to go up.
Yep.
And we might, and a lot of people might think gas prices only impact the price of gas, but if you think about it, it impacts everything, right? Like
everything.
If you think about how stuff is transported, how do trucks run?
The whole logistic.
Fuel, your entire supply chain runs on gas.
Yes, sir.
And you might feel like we're saying hey man, we drive electric cars, it's fine. Well, no, where does the food we eat come from, right? Yep. Where the clothing we wear come from, our healthcare, where how do those supplies come from? So I think there's an impact on every aspect of our
even
life.
Us charging electric cars, right? I think we have seen a little bit of prices hike on electric charge per kilowatt as well, like on the supercharger. I don't know if you have felt that or not, but I've seen that as well. I typically
charge at home, so I've been lucky. But I do agree with you that I felt like whenever I do charge outside, it does feel abnormally high. I mean, there are places I'm charging at that it's costing me twice as much as what I remember before. And
it's again, that comes down to us as well, right? Yeah. Whenever there's anything that needs to be fixed, that's a logistical issue thing for them as well.
Yeah.
So they might not come in electric car, right? So I think if you look at it overall, I think it's one of the thing that impacts every single thing that we do.
Yeah.
Either it's a commute time from work to home,
Yeah.
or anything that you buy in Amazon, right? That gets delivered. That whole supply chain, it's a backbone of the country.
So let me ask you this, Roshan. So with all of this like uncertainty around gas, right? So one of the things that came out earlier this week, so in India, the Prime Minister of India, he went on national TV and he said
long speech.
He gave. I mean, he gave a long speech about kind of everything that's going on, but he made several requests.
Yes.
And one of the requests he made was, hey, everybody go work from home.
Yeah.
Right. And
the gold as well.
Yeah. I mean, he said many things, but I think the one I want to focus on is where he said like everybody work from home.
Yep.
And the reason I know this, I have a large number of team members that work out of India. So immediately, the memes start with them like, hey, the Prime Minister is asking us to work from home. Like, are we going to work from home? Because our team does work from the office there.
Yes.
I wonder if something like that will happen here, with kind of the uncertainty. Do you ever see that happening here? Like, hey man, you guys all work from home.
Yeah. I mean, to a certain aspect of it, like, I think things are already changing in terms of, most of the people that can work from home, if you look at it, is like the white collar jobs where like you are in IT or like, the mid profession type, like where you can work from home. There are certain jobs that you can do work from home, right? I don't think that's happening very quick just because we are just transitioning that work from home culture out.
Yeah.
Just because we were really into that part during the COVID time. So I think we're just in the phase out phase right now for not working from home. Yeah. There are companies trying to do a hybrid and all that stuff. I think just for the gas and all that stuff, I don't think it's going to work out like that way. Yeah. Just because if you think of it, I think more of it is like also the schools. You'll also have to put kids in school and teach online then.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big part of like, I don't know how much you have realized it. Like on a weekday when the school is on and when the school is off, the traffic is different.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Right.
True.
So I don't think like having the businesses or few professions where they have the luxury to work from home will impact that big of a deal for us here in the United States. That's what I think. I mean, I might be wrong on that.
I mean, I agree, but I'm just talking about the ones that can work from home.
Yep.
I'm sure there are people that would prefer to work from home.
Oh, definitely. My big thing is about like how big of an impact that will do in terms of gas prices. Is the thing.
I don't think it's so much in the pricing. I think it's more in the supply.
Supply, yeah.
I think it's a significant impact. Don't you think so? With how many people commute to work.
Yeah.
If you're not commuting every day, I think you save a lot on gas prices. I mean, when you look at it from like the domestic perspective, right? National perspective. Yeah. I mean, you'll save a ton on gas for sure.
And I think Nepal did kind of sort of same thing. They closed the schools on Sundays. So Nepal, you only get one public holiday, Saturday only, right? So for the same thing, like for the lower consumption of fossil fuels, they're like, okay, Sunday's off too now.
So are they going to move it back to Saturday once it's normalized?
We don't know. That's a topic that it's still in the thing. They haven't said anything about it.
Yeah. I'd hate to be that kid, we'll get like 2 days off. Yeah. Then all of a sudden they're like, all right, now you got to go back to school.
Yeah, there's been same kind of thing like with Indian Prime Minister talking about the gas prices. I mean, Nepal rely a lot in terms of fuels system, LPG gas and all that stuff through India. And for Indian Prime Minister to go in and give a long speech about like, hey, and it was a very, he spin off as a patriotic thing to do, right? You're doing this for the country, right? It's kind of like, if I don't buy gold, it's kind of like winning a war kind of thing. Like he basically said, hey, cash is going to be the king. So start saving it kind of thing, right? So how it's going to replicate into Nepal perspective, that's the thought process that I was thinking as well. Just because we are reliant on the fertilizers, the fuels, and all that stuff there. And he also talked about the fertilizers as well. And the Strait of Hormuz is the area that the fertilizers, the fuel, and all that stuff comes in. And it goes to India and then goes to Nepal. So our source is saying, hey guys, buckle up. Yeah. So Nepal
for themselves. So imagine what that looks like.
And another thing in Nepal is they say, hey, Saturday, Sunday off, but the workforce is not off on Sunday. It's just the schools are off on Sundays, right? Okay, my kid has a day off. I mean, school is off, but I don't have a day off, right? Yeah. So there has been a lot
of Nepal, they don't care about that. The kids roam around.
They do now.
Really?
It's not like how we grow up now.
No?
It's not. They're in their phones. I don't think like how we used to do it. Like my mom and dad can be anywhere, and we're like in that one ground. We're playing football, soccer, whatever we want to do, and we come home like very tired and just go to bed. And parents will be okay as well. But now I think there has been as well, like where people are the young kids are on their phones, laptops, iPads, and all that stuff. Yeah. So I think the screen time has increased and all that stuff there as well. So energy consumption in terms of electricity has definitely gone up, I would say.
So with all this, do you think like what are your thoughts on like how long things will be this way, especially for like the people watching, right? We're seeing like the firsthand effects of it, and we are, I think, in a lot better of a place 100%. Than a lot of countries.
100%.
Right? I mean, still the question is, I think we're seeing a lot of things happen in America, particularly around the job market. It's very tough right now. Yep. A lot of companies are doing layoffs. I mean, we talked about that too.
Very big layoffs.
Yeah, large scale layoffs. And there are a lot of talents in the market. And of course, more people getting added with new grads not being able to graduate. I mean, I've seen a thread on Reddit where this guy's like, I filled out somewhere around like 4,000 applications, and he still doesn't have still doesn't have a job offer.
Wow.
So I mean, we're seeing all of that. We're not calling it a recession officially.
Yes.
Because our stock market's at an all-time high.
Every time President Trump goes in and put it in through social, he always posts, it has been highest than ever in the stock market. That's his talking point these days, right? And anytime they're asked about gas prices,
but how much of that is like reflective of like the average American, though? That's always the question. Is like, do you feel like you're at an all-time high financially?
No, sir.
I'm definitely not an all-time high financially. So
I might say all-time low on a personal level. With everything going on, I'm more in real estate, right? So when I see off it, like year hasn't been as active as it used to be. So it's definitely a very unique time where your leader is saying like, hey, stock market is high, guys. Right. And here you go to Charles, you're paying more. You go to do certain things, you're paying more.
Like Frisco's having a hard time, man. Like Frisco used to be like the popping city where like houses would sell left and right. And I think we're actually going to see an official, like a decrease in pricing happen in Frisco over the next 12 months. At least that's what they're predicting. Obviously, there are a lot of other things going on as well. But that's, I wonder how much longer things will continue to be this way.
I mean, I know like they've tried dealing with Iran in this, like having a conversation. There have been multiple times. People have been in Pakistan to do the negotiations and all that stuff. But I don't think it's going to be very soon. I don't feel like...
What do you think happens? Like we're in this war for a long time?
The official recession word is going to hit.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
You think like with the stock market going all-time high? I don't think so. I don't see us hitting a recession while the stock market's all-time high or them saying anything.
Yes. My thought process on that is this. Like stock market is high, but like we can see the impact of stock markets with AI as well. Like you've seen a lot of the AI companies are giving that boost up. But I think that's going to stop.
The bubble's going to pop?
Not the bubble part of it, but in terms of stock, like where we're like with the recent trip to China, like you see Tesla and all this stuff, it has gone up, right? But I think it has its course. Like what we talked about, we are seeing it in a personal level. Companies definitely sees that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Their logistic, their supply chain and all that stuff. So I don't know if that has been felt there yet in that regards, right? And one trickle down is the Spirit Airline example that you gave. The fuel prices going up. We have seen the airfares going crazy. Right. So, and again, it can relate back to the talk that we're doing in terms of World Cup as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of changed one thing in that as well is we got to give, not like how Qatar did destination transit flights from Dubai or anything, but I think recently they have, you know, to travel to United States, you have to put a bond of 15,000 or some sort of
thing.
For
every country though?
For most of the countries that I know they will have to do it if they want. If the visa counselor says, hey, you'll have to put it, they'll have to do it. So for the World Cup, they had said, okay, you don't have to do it for the World Cup.
Okay.
So that's the easiness that they have done. I don't know how big of an impact that will make in terms of that.
I mean, I hope with all these ticket prices, you know, nobody buys them and, you know, they start tanking and then I'm able to go. I mean, look, it's no matter... I would love to go for the experience.
Yes.
The experience of being there and watching the best footballers in the world play the game that they're the best at. I don't think that's something you see like multiple times in your lifetime, right? Yep. And it only comes once in 4 years.
Yeah, and that's happening in your doorstep, right? It makes a lot of things easier.
Yeah.
You know?
By the way, have you heard like the new World Cup song? I haven't heard.
No.
No. Because every year that's part of it too, right?
Big thing.
The way they promote the World Cup is through
that's what I was
song.
telling you about, right?
Yeah.
Like with Qatar, like it was just a whole crazy thing of like, hey, visit Qatar for a World Cup, boo boo boo, and they were doing ads all around the world, not just in their flights and all that stuff. But with United States or like just whole North America, we can't just put United States there just because Mexico is hosting, Canada is also hosting. I haven't seen any like hype, even being here. Like I don't feel that hype.
Yeah. I will say what I have seen surrounding the World Cup are people making songs and saying this could be like the World Cup theme song.
Okay.
And like, but these are made by like individual artists, you know, not like officially recognized by FIFA or something like that. So I have seen those, but yeah, you know, that's something I'm looking forward to. I hope, you know, the people that are looking to scam and make money out of this, you know,
it's not all about the money. I think people needs to, I think Gianni, this might be a suggestion for him, will be like, hey.
He's watching.
Yeah.
Gianni, I know you're watching.
I don't know if you're watching or not, but, you know, anything with FIFA, any officials, I mean, you got to keep the spirit of the soccer, right? Like I mentioned earlier, you know, whenever you think FIFA, you always think about that street where kids are playing with not actual soccer ball, some kind of like deflated soccer ball or, you know, something like that. That always comes in head. And for you to come in and say, if you don't have money, don't come in. I don't think that. I mean, we are willing to pay, but to how much you got to think about that middle class as well. That middle class part is missing, and if it continues to go, I don't think that's gonna, like you said, we'll see a lot of empty seats and all that stuff here in the United States.
Good. I will go if the seats are empty. Then I will go. I'll fill those empty seats. That's not a problem. But yeah, we'll kind of see.
I've seen a lot of people from Nepali community volunteering here in Dallas and New York as well. So that I think they have called for volunteers about 3 months back. Like if you want to volunteer on the games, they will let you, and there was a whole process of it. You have to go through an interview. They will look at why you want to volunteer and all that stuff. Just because, you know, it's also the security thing for them.
Sure.
So you will be volunteering throughout the whole stadium, right? So I've seen a lot of Nepali friends who have volunteered to for the World Cup as well, taking days off to do the volunteer and still have that. That's one way to get the experience as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to volunteer because they're gonna put like with my luck they're gonna put me somewhere in the back, like outside the stadium, you know, like checking people's tickets. Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. I could rather be at home watching. I don't think with my luck I'm gonna be the volunteers in the field, on the field.
Or probably right on the top of the
and they'll have me face the other way too. Like I'm gonna be facing away from the people playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see how it goes. You know, we have a couple months.
Not a couple months. I think less than 30 days now.
But it'll last like 2 months.
Oh yeah,
right?
So for it to end, yes.
Yeah,
we have a couple months.
And then when you go into bracket play. So, yeah, do you have a team you're supporting for?
No, not particularly. I don't think I'm biased on anything. Like I've always been kind of like Netherlands fan.
Yeah.
I remember, like, again, I'm not a very big soccer guy. I remember one World Cup where like the ball pass, I think it was Banter who hit that, the Flying Dutchman. I remember that. That was one of the memory of World Cup. So I always supported that.
I think that was a game they scored like 5 goals or something like that.
And I think every World Cup they have also been about like, hey, I think last year as well they only lost a game right on that playoffs as well. Okay. So I think they've been a very good team, and
Europe's pretty competitive overall.
Yeah.
England comes
the craziness in there is different.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we always anticipate to see a lot of Brazilian fans. I'm sure, a lot of Argentinian fans too. It'll be interesting. I'm just looking forward to, this will be the last World Cup for a lot of players who, for the players that we consider to be the best of all time,
or like we grew up with. Seeing them.
It'll be good to see them either like at home with my friends and family, or if I get the chance to go, watch.
I'm planning to host a watch party as well. So
You're like a specific game you're thinking of?
Not right now. I'm thinking somewhere around quarterfinal. Like I want to bring
one of the big games.
Yep. I want to bring all my clients together and have a meet and greet. Also like have that space.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Yeah. So I'm planning to do that as well with my clients. What about you? Which team are you supporting this year?
Yeah, I like I said, I don't. I'm supporting Nepal, man. Are we even in the World? I don't think we're in the World Cup. We didn't make it.
We did it in cricket, but not in.
No, man.
Not yet in.
So I'll change my answer. I'm not supporting Nepal.
Okay.
Since that's not a viable choice. I don't know. I think I'd love to see how Messi does again with Argentina. I mean, they're the defending champions.
That's cool.
So
I should have said Portugal. Now I want to change my answer.
Yeah, you want to go for Ronaldo. Do we know if he's playing?
I have no clue. I can look it up.
He's getting pretty old. I don't know if he's playing, but like obviously, I'm excited to see Messi play. I don't know if Messi's playing either. You can tell I don't know anything about soccer, but that's the fun of it, right? You don't have to be like a follower to be watching the World Cup. You just like and enjoy the sporting event, and
he's scheduled to play.
Yeah,
Cristiano Ronaldo is scheduled to play.
So but I mean, this will most likely be his last World Cup, so it'll be pretty cool, to see him play and see how Portugal does. I mean, they typically do pretty well. They'll make it. Hopefully, they make it out of the group stage and then make it to bracket play, and then we'll kind of see how it goes. Is there like a player you're looking to? Like, is Ronaldo the player you're looking forward to watching him play?
My thing is just being and enjoying the whole culture of it rather than like a diehard fan for one thing. You said Messi, so there's always a controversy of like Ronaldo? Messi or Ronaldo, who's the GOAT kind of thing, right? Yeah. So I just wanted to, like, just as a joke, I was like, I should have said Ronaldo. So I don't think I have anything like, hey, I'm looking forward to this guy playing. I have a brother. He's like, I've been saving money. Like I want to put that money in and want to watch Ronaldo, right? Like the craziness that he has is like, I mean, that, like I said, that's why I said it's a religion. And I don't know if he saves that for anything in life besides that, If he could do that financially in other things, he will do much better. But he's like, nope, I gotta see the World Cup. I gotta see Ronaldo play. So, and I don't know how much he bought his ticket in or anything, but he's scheduled to see Ronaldo playing. So
wow, that's super cool. Here in Dallas?
I don't know where exactly, but I just had a brief conversation with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I've saved money.
God, that's gonna be like a couple $1,000s, man.
More than that, day.
Yeah,
it's gonna be more than that, not just a couple of thousands. Wow. So he and me talked, he had saved about $8,500 for the World Cup.
Wow,
$8,500.
That's one game though.
Yeah, just for one game. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's a lot of money, man.
I know. That's a down payment for the house.
Yeah, I mean,
for a lot of people, it's a down payment for the house. 3% down payment.
Yeah, like an FHA loan. Wow, man, that's crazy.
And like that's.
I can't imagine spending like $8,500 on a.
Not me.
On a ticket, but then again, like we have cameras that we paid considerable amount of money. That
or
people,
more than that.
that people would probably say the same thing for.
Yeah, it depends on what your priorities is and all that stuff.
I don't want to be judgmental.
Yeah.
If he feels it's worth it, it's his money, right?
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I want to bring that community together.
Yeah.
Part of it, right?
Yeah.
So we do a lot of events in Austin. Like I've been in Austin, and we do happy hour events, professional events, professional meetups events. And I'm like, okay, let's do a watch party as well.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
We also have an event coming in on June 6th. Nepali professional. Austin Nepali professionals, we're doing a event, happy hour event. It's going to be a very fun event.
It's in Austin.
It's going to be in Austin. It's in Silly's Brewery.
Okay.
And it's just all sorts of industry leaders who are from Nepali background. They come in and we just basically hang out. There's no formalities or anything. Okay. So we're just grabbing a few drinks and having a conversation. There are some people who are probably looking for a job, or there are some people who are hiring as well. Yeah, so it's just a good meetup. There are tech people coming in, medical, and there are like basic entrepreneurs, founders there. So it's a very fun event that we do it, and it's always been a very pleasure of me, and like we have a couple of guys, me, Sushant, Sandesh. We sit down and like we got to do some kind of these events, just because I think there are a lot of people. With Nepali community, they want to do like more of a formal event. You sit down, you clap. I think that easiness comes through that event, and I want to do the same thing with the World Cup watch party as well.
Okay.
So
yeah, if you're gonna be in Austin, any of these, you're welcome to attend.
Yes, definitely. I will for the World Cup one. We don't have dates, so probably closer to that, we'll talk about it. But for now, if you go to Austin Nepali Professional ANP in Facebook, you can see you can register an RSVP for the event, and you can come meet, hang out with people. It's such a cool event. I've met such a great people here, and some of our podcast guests where I met there as well. Susandai, Dr. Shreya Parazali. So I think these are the people that we made, and to be able to have that conversation, it's really awesome.
Yeah, we've got some pretty cool guests coming up as well, in our future episodes. So definitely look forward to that. But we enjoy doing these kind of one-on-ones too. I think it's a good way to reset and
reconnect.
Have
that same mentality of the flow and all that stuff, and that's very important, just because I think what we're trying to do here is to have that conversation. Whenever I meet you, whenever I have a conversation with you, it's just fun, right? So, and to be able to put it in a recording, I haven't even looked at camera until right now. It's just I'm having conversation with you. So I think it's very important for us to connect, have that conversation on our end as well. And like you mentioned, we are going to have some great guests who are going to be very valuable suggestions, who are going to give some great suggestions, and their experience will be a big thing that they're going to share. I'm very excited about it.
We're excited to share that with our audience as well. So far we've gotten great support. So thank you for everyone who watches our episodes and who takes the time to comment, some feedback or some points that, either they agree or disagree with. I think those, continue to allow us to have very good conversation that, addresses kind of both sides of the argument that we're talking about. But with that being said, definitely follow us on our social media, our YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, we're kind of anywhere. You could really find us anywhere. But that will wrap up episode 4 of our podcast, and we will see you guys on the next one.
With great guests. Thank you so much.
See ya.